All right, today we're jumping into the incredibly high-stakes world of medical imaging. You know, that one single scan that can literally change a person's life forever. We're going to break down how artificial intelligence is doing way more than just helping out. It's completely changing the game for radiologists. So you go in for a scan. What happens next? You probably figure a doctor just, well, looks at the picture, right? But the real journey from that image to an actual diagnosis that your doctor can use is this incredibly complex process. It's filled with all these hidden pressures and potential delays that honestly you've probably never even thought about. Now, to really appreciate just how revolutionary AI is, we first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the immense strain the current system is under, a system that relies completely on our amazing but overworked human experts. Okay, so this is the typical path. It starts with your doctor's referral. Then a tech takes the actual image. From there, it gets zapped into this complex web of IT systems for storage. And only then does it finally land in front of a radiologist for that all-important interpretation. And after all that, they have to write up a report that somehow makes its way back to your doctor. Every single arrow you see here, that's a handoff. It's a potential point of friction. And all that friction, well, it creates some really big problems. Radiologists are facing a complete tsunami of images, and it's leading to serious burnout. They're wasting precious time just hunting for your patient records across different computer systems that don't talk to each other. The reporting itself is often slow, and, any delay in getting critical information to the right person can have devastating consequences. The whole system is strained right to the breaking point. So, how in the world does AI help with all this? Okay, let's get into it. The best way to think about it is like an AI assembly line. It's the series of specialized models that all work together, basically copying the way a radiologist's own brain works, to see, to think, and then to write. The very first step is to see, and this is the job of what are called convolutional neural networks, or CNNs. You can just think of them as the eyes of the system. Their whole job is to scan the image, pixel by pixel, and learn how to spot the fundamental building blocks of a diagnosis. The subtle textures, the little edges, the weird shapes that might signal something's wrong. But just seeing the little pieces isn't enough. The AI has to actually think about what it all means. This is where vision transformers, or VITs, come in. They're the brain. And here's the difference. While a CNN is great at seeing the individual trees, a VIT sees the entire forest. It looks at the whole picture at once, analyzing how every little part relates to every other part. This gives it the global context that is absolutely crucial for a complex diagnosis. And finally, the AI has to communicate what it found. This is the voice, and it's powered by generative AI. It takes all that structured technical data from the eyes and the brain, like nodule, right upper lobe, 8 mm, and translates it into a perfectly fluent, easy-to-read report. This saves an incredible amount of time and helps make sure everyone is on the same page. And look, this is not science fiction. This AI assembly line is already up and running in hospitals and clinics today. So let's take a look at how this stuff translates into real-world tools that are changing how patients are treated right now. What's really fascinating is how the tech is used in completely different ways depending on where you are. In a hospital, the name of the game is speed. The AI's job is to triage, to find the most critical cases, like a stroke or a blood clot, and push them to the front of the line. But then you go over to a dental office, and it's a totally different story. There, the AI is all about patient communication, using visuals to help you understand your diagnosis, so you're more likely to agree to the treatment you need. This is a life-altering difference. For a stroke patient, every single second counts, and clinical studies have shown that AI platforms can cut down the critical door-to-puncture time, that's the time from when you arrive at the hospital to when treatment begins, by an average of 38 minutes. That's not just time, that's brain tissue being saved. And as you'd expect, a whole market has grown up to deliver these tools. You've got companies like iDoc trying to build the entire AI operating system for a hospital. You've got specialists like Avicina AI that are laser-focused on that ER triage. Rad AI is all about making the reporting faster with generative AI, and Overjet is a huge name in the dental world. This isn't just a cool experiment anymore. This is a serious, rapidly growing industry.
But having a brilliant algorithm is really just the first step. To actually get that AI into a hospital, into a real clinic, it has to run a gauntlet, a whole series of intense technical, regulatory, and even ethical challenges.
The biggest hurdle, no question, is regulation. In the US, these tools are considered medical devices, so they're governed by the FDA. And for anyone watching this space, the specific path a company chooses for approval, well, it tells you everything about their strategy. Most go the 510K route, which basically means they're arguing their tool is similar to something that's already out there. It's faster. But when a company goes for the de novo pathway, that's them saying they've built something brand new, something truly disruptive. It's a much bigger bet. Even if you get FDA approval, you still have this huge barrier of trust. For a lot of doctors, these AI models are just a black box. The algorithm spits out an answer, but it doesn't show its work. And when a patient's life is on the line, just trust me from a computer is, well, it's not good enough.
So the solution is something called explainable AI, or XAI. It's a bunch of techniques designed to crack open that black box. For example, some tools can create a visual heat map right over the scan, showing a doctor the exact pixels the AI used to make its decision. This lets the human expert instantly see the AI's reasoning, which is absolutely critical for building trust.
And the challenges just keep on coming. The algorithm has to be generalizable, right? A model trained on scans from one hospital's machines might totally fail when it sees scans from a different brand of machine somewhere else. And then there's the massive headache of technical integration, just getting the AI to plug in and work smoothly with the complex and sometimes ancient IT systems hospitals already have. So with all of this amazing capability and all these tough challenges, what does the future actually look like? Well, the story here isn't human versus machine. It's something much, much more powerful and collaborative. See, the goal isn't to replace the radiologist, it's to augment them. The AI becomes a co-pilot. It handles all the tedious, repetitive work, doing measurements, flagging potential issues, finding old studies, and that frees up the expert human radiologist to focus on what they do best, applying complex judgment, understanding the patient's unique situation, and collaborating on their care. I think this quote just captures it perfectly. You combine the expertise of a human with the efficiency of a transparent AI, and you create something that is way more powerful than either one could ever be on its own. It's about making our best experts even better. And that leaves us with one last, really profound question to think about. As this technology keeps proving its worth, as it keeps saving time and improving outcomes, at what point does using an AI co-pilot stop being a cutting-edge advantage and start being just the expected standard of care for every single patient?